Hey guys, it's Ms. Johnson here, and I'm here to bring you the 8-6 notes video. This is our last video for Chapter 8. We're talking about solving rational equations and inequalities today. Up at the top, the first example says a music download service advertises downloads for $1 per song. The service also charges a monthly access fee of $15. If a customer downloads X songs in 1 month, the bill will be 15, which is the fee, plus X, which is the number of songs, divided by X for the actual cost per song. Number 1 says find out how many songs a person would need to download to make the actual cost per song $1.25. So here's my expression, my rational expression, and I want to see when that is going to equal $1.25. So that's what I need to do. I need to take 15 plus X divided by X and set it equal to 125. Okay. Now, we all know that to get a number or a value out of the denominator, I would need to multiply by that value. So to solve this, I'm going to multiply by X to get an X out of the bottom, because that's going to cancel that. So that gives me 15 plus X is equal to 125X. Now I have an X on both sides, which is not going to work for me. I can only solve for 1. So I'm going to subtract this X so that I have my x's on the same side. 125 minus 1 is going to leave me with 0.25x left over. And then one last step, we would need to divide by 0.25. Divide by 0.25. And 15 divided by 0.25 is 60. So that means this person would need to download 60 songs in order for each song to cost them $1.25. Now, a rational equation is any equation that has a rational expression. Any equation that contains one or more rational expressions. One example is the one we just looked at. 15 plus X over X equals $1.25. That's a rational equation because it has rational expressions in it. You could also have one with some trinomials in it. X squared plus minus, 5x, there it is, x squared minus 5x plus 4 over x minus 4 equaling 0, let's say. So any sort of equation, now the right-hand side of that equation, this side right here, is not a rational expression, but this is a rational expression. So this whole thing ends up being a rational equation. Now what we need to do is to figure out how to solve for these things. So let's do a couple examples together. In number 2, I'm looking at 9 over 28 plus 3 over z plus 2 is equal to 3/4. And I need to figure out how to solve that. Okay. First thing, that LCD, least common denominator that we're used to finding, that we found back when we were adding and subtracting, we need to find that for all 3 of the denominators. Not just the 28 and the z plus 2, but also the 4. Okay, so I need to look at all 3 of the denominators and figure out what the LCD would be. So in this case, I have factors. 28 is the same thing as 4 times 7, which is 2 times 2 times 7. Z plus 2 is just z plus 2. 4 is 2 times 2. So my LCD for these, I need 2 factors of 2 because that's the most that I see it. I need a factor of 7 and I need a factor of z plus 2. So I have 2 times 2 times 7 times z plus 2. Okay, so now I make them common denominators and I need to see what I have left over. So in the first one, I am missing, I have a 2 times a 2 times a 7, so I have those 3, but I'm missing the z plus 2. So I need to multiply this by z plus 2. In the second one, the one in the middle, I have the z plus 2, but I'm missing the 2, and the 7. So I need to multiply this by 2 times 2 times 7. And then the equals, the 3/4 on the right-hand side, I have the 2 and the 2, I need the 7, and I need the z plus 2. So I'm going to multiply by 7 as well as z plus 2. So now let's take a look at what I have. I have 9 times z plus 2. I have plus 3 times 2 times 2 times 7, which when I multiply all that together, I get 84. And then I have 21 times z plus 2. Okay. So, the nice thing about this is that these are all over the same denominator, which my denominator is 28 times z plus 2, 28 times z plus 2, and 28 times z plus 2. When that happens, when we create a common denominator for all of these, we don't need to worry about the denominators anymore. Since this is the same as that is the same as that, I'm not worried about these anymore. I only need to focus on the numerators and set those equal to each other and solve. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to look at the numerators. 9 times z plus 2 plus 84 equaling 21 times z plus 2. This just becomes a regular multi-step equation that we've solved many times. So for this one, I'm going to distribute what I need to. That gives me 9z plus 18. The 84 is just 84. Here I get 21z plus 42. Combine my like terms, 18 and 84 ends up giving me 102. So I have 9z plus 102 equaling 21z plus 42. I have z's on both sides, so I'm going to subtract 9z so that I have the z's all together. That gives me 102 is equal to 12z plus 42. Subtract the 42. Again, these are all just the same solving equation steps that we've done many, many times. And divide by the 12. So 60 divided by 12 gives me 5, and I end up with 5 is equal to z. So there's my equation for, or my solution for the equation that was given to me. So the first thing that I did, let's just recap that. The first thing that I did is I found the LCD. Once I found the LCD, I gave all of them common denominators. Once I gave them all common denominators, I only needed to look at the numerators and solve for the missing variable in the numerator. Okay, so let's try another one together. I'm going to look at number 3. In number 3, I have, here it is. In number 3, I have 5, 6 plus 2 over x minus 1, x minus 2 is equal to 1/2. So if I look for the LCD, that's what I'm going to start with, look for the LCD. This one is 2 times 3. This one just has a factor of x minus 2, and this one is just a 2. So the LCD here, or the LCM of the denominators, I need one factor of 2, one factor of 3, and one factor of x minus 2. So now let me figure out what I'm missing in each part. For the first one, I have the 2, I have the 3, I'm missing the x minus 2. In the middle one, I have the x minus 2, I'm missing the factor of 2, and I'm missing the factor of 3. And on the right, on the other side of the equal sign, I have the factor of 2, I'm missing the 3, and I'm missing the x minus 2. So now, let me put all that back together. I have 5 times x minus 2 all over the 6x minus 2, which is the common denominator, plus 2 times 2 times 3, which gives me 12, over 6 times x minus 2. And then on the other side, I have 1 times 3, which is 3, times x minus 2, all over the 6 times the x minus 2. All right, so now I am done with worrying about the denominators because now they're the same. Now I just need to focus on the numerators. So I'm going to pull those out. 5 times x minus 2 plus 12 equals 3 times x minus 2, and solve this like I would any other normal equation. Distribute the 5, 5x minus 10 plus 12. Distribute the 3, 3x minus 6. Put my like terms together. Negative 10, positive 12 is 2. So 5x plus 2 is equal to 3x minus 6. Again, I have x's on both sides, so I got to fix that. I'm going to subtract 3x. So I end up with 2x plus 2 equaling negative 6. subtract the 2, 2x is equal to negative 8, and divide by the 2, x is equal to negative 4. So that ends up being my solution in number 3. So again, I'm looking at rational expressions. I need to find the common denominator between both of them, or between all of them, and then I worry about the numerators and solve from there. That's going to end our video for today. Don't forget to go back to Schoology and take your quiz. Thanks for listening.